And welcome to another base build. If you saw my last video, you probably already know that this is one of the Special Forces helicopter from Manox's vehicle modlet. So if you haven't checked that one out, make sure you do. So this time I'm going to go ahead and build a really super safe base. And we're going to be doing it entirely legit. Well, okay, maybe not 100%, maybe sort of 93%. We're going to use legit blocks in a way that will allow us to be, I believe, 100% safe without too much trouble. We'll see how that goes, but that's the aim. We are going to be taking advantage of some of the, I guess I called it structural integrity mechanics of building in order to do that. And some people might feel that that's not the way to do it and that is cheating, but I kind of like it sometimes, especially when they keep on changing the way the AI works, how much damage they do and how they pathfind, etc. It can be a pain to make a massive base, and using some of these tricks can help alleviate some of that trouble. So we're going to find a bit of a different place to do this, and let me not break my base, and we're going to fly over here and find a nice flat spot. And this looks pretty flat and nice. Yep, so let's go down here and bang. Right, and because we're really strong, we're going to pick it up. So I'm going to clear away a little bit here because we need some space. Maybe something around, I don't know, 40 by 40, 50 by 50 or something. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it's been nicely flattened out here. So we have enough space to... Okay, so we have some zombies that are coming around. Fortunately, we got a cheating gun. And this is the admin instant death pistol. Really useful. Especially when you're getting a wandering horde or whatever you're getting here. Alright, you might wonder, why do I need such a big space and why is it in such a shape? And actually, no particular reason. I probably don't need it. Oh, is that a building over there? I guess so. Anyway, I probably don't need a huge space, but it does help later on as I expand it. So all I need is a big flat area. And reasonably flat is important because you cannot have too much differences, and eventually you probably want to make all these ones blocks as well, because you get this weird in between here where zombies can sort of get down a little bit, and you don't really want that. You want them to be nice and flat. And what do you do now? You take your iron sheet, and you place it down like this. So now it's there, and if you walk over it, you see there's a very slight here, not very much, and that and this is not what we want, and that's exactly what you want. So I'm going to put this one here, all 9 sheets, really nice. And what do you do after that? Well, let's do advanced rotation. See if I can get the correct... Nope, that's the wrong one. And that's... Okay, that's also the wrong one. It's a little bit tough to do from... Okay, so this one. You want to do this one, so that you have it at the top. And let me put this one here. Let me put this one here. And let me get rid of this one. And now I'm good. Now it looks perfect, right? So what happens now? And I think we are probably fairly safe for most things. So let me see, look at me. Let's put in a zombie. Let's put in a cheerleader. She'll come up here and she will... Yeah, what was she going to do? Nothing. She's not doing anything. But she's there, right? I mean, you can definitely see that she's there. Let me see if I... Oh. Now she beat something. which is not what I wanted. Let me see if I can do this. And let me pull the camera out. And she's there. Okay, come back here. Don't walk away. She did beat that one a little bit. But, oh, she does actually beat them, but not very much. She does a little bit of damage, but generally they just walk underneath. Only if they really feel like doing something. Oh, see if I do that again. Will she come under? I think she might do another swing. Not very much. There might be an occasional bash. And then she hits it. But most of the time, they just like to be underneath. So you see, this is basically the mechanic we're going to try and use. So what happens is that... Oops. Let me get a nail gun. Nail guns are good. We'll see how much damage she did. A little bit. A little bit. She does damage a little bit when she beats, but often they don't really do much at all because, well, they feel that there's nothing here for them to bash. Now, they will beat this one if they happen to be standing here and bashing, but we can take advantage of that one such that we don't stand right above where they would be bashing. So we're going to pause the AI here, and it means we are going to not use this one. We're going to use this one. Copy rotation. I'm going to go out 3 here. I'm going to go out 3 here. 1, 2, 3. And then this one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not what we want. Doesn't hurt, but it's not what we want. I'm going to put these ones like this. And then we're going to copy rotation. Like this. Of course, I'm flying around because it's a little bit easier to place them. Of course, you can do that just using just frames or something. Okay, so now we have this one. And you might think, okay, so how does this help us? Well, because even now we can then, if I want to, I could fill in here. But I'm actually just going to use these ones as well. Because it's above, I'm going to put a steel block. Oh, don't do that. 4. I'm going to put a steel block here, steel block there, here, and now I effectively have a pillar. So let's go up 5. Now we have a pretty high pillar here, and we're going to do the same for all the sides so that we get up a little bit because we want to get off the ground. And like this. And we're going to connect them. Now, the good thing about being connected is that it means that we can have a platform. You might be wondering, hey, how does this hold? Do you really need to have steel? Well, actually, you don't need to have steel if you don't make it too big. This could actually be a concrete as well, or reinforced concrete, just that I like to build with steel in case I do some big horde testing. Oh, no. Oh, no. So this is what happens when you... how did I do this one? Oh. This is what happens when you measure twice and you rebuild multiple times. So let's pretend that didn't happen. We are going to copy this one. And we're going to copy this one. And we're going to go up here. And we're going to pretend that this did not happen. No one saw this. Scrub it from the video. Erase it. And this, yeah, okay, so this one should be like this. Fortunately, I can just pretend it didn't happen. Reduce and remove, and there's no more evidence of anything. Okay, so you see now I have these platforms, and if I wanted to do more, I can do even like this again, just to create some extra stability, because they could theoretically bash down something. And let me do this, and we'll just fill in some of the iron bars. Again, you could use whatever material you want to. I just want to have these ones so I can see what's happening below. If you want to make them all solid, that works as well, because then they wouldn't be able to see you. And if you want to make a base, you probably want to have solid if you don't want all the zombies to see you and aggro on you. All right, so now I have... And we are going to, just for the fun of it, we're going to remove this one this one, this one, and this one, and this one. And we have the same here. Okay, so now I effectively have, and let me do this now and restart the AI. We have a zombie down there. So, and all she does is walk around. Now let me spawn a little bit more. Let's say you have a bit more zombies. And let's get some raided. Let's have blah blah blah. Let's get a little bit of each. And they'll come over here. And they're not doing very much. Now they will be a little bit of attack. Now you do see a problem here. And this is why having a big flat area helps. Because the ground here is slightly bigger. Is ever so slightly higher. It means that when they are on these patches, they're actually higher, and then they can theoretically be targeting some of these blocks. But you see, they might be doing some damage here, not a lot of it. And the good thing about a build like this, where you make it in, if you have a steel frame, is that you can push out these ones probably about 15 each. 14 actually, 14 plus 14, so you have a space that is about 28 by 28, and nothing can attack. Now you do see some weird behavior. For instance, these ones is being attacked as well. Sometimes it's because they're stacking on each other, or because the zombies actually glitch up, and that's unavoidable. But otherwise, yeah, this is reasonably safe. Now the question is, if you have it just this size, will they eventually break these iron plates and cause things to fall down? And it's possible. And again, this is why you want to have a design that can actually handle that as well. You want to have multiple pillars. You want to push out the pillars, and that's why I made a bigger area. Because if you're standing here, they might not go all the way out there just to bash something, but they might bash something around here. And that's what you see happening here. So I'm going to continue building on this a little bit. I'm going to push things out. I'm going to make it wider, and we'll test it out again. Right. So we now have a pretty big place. So we have these pillars, which are some apart from this one. And I'm going to go around and expand it so that I have more pillars that will be able to sustain structure in the middle without them having any pillars in the middle as well. And as you can see, I've now built up the frame around, which while it's not perfect, at least it should help. And we're going to keep doing that around, so it sort of becomes the spokes of a wheel. And as to how much of these ones you really need to get, that really depends on how big you make it. Still does allow you to make almost 15, I think it's 14, maybe it's 15 blocks, which is the maximum for any metal ones. For support, this is a little bit less because I also want to put a little bit of maybe some walls up as well. And so you want to have a little bit of extra here as well. And of course, it's not necessarily going to be 28 or 30 in between here. This one's obviously less, and that actually helps with the structure in the middle. I have now put in the platform. Is this one wrong? Okay, this one's wrong. Okay, so the whole platform is now pretty much done, and as you can see, this means these ones can be removed. I'm going to keep this one there, just so I know where the spot is, not that I really will need it. And this one fell down already, so remove and remove. Okay. Oops. This was the central one. So now I have a platform that is, let me do this, fairly big. I think it's about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on each side, plus the middle one. And let's do like this, and let's put in copy rotation. Okay, and yeah, you see. Oh, okay. So this one in the middle is right where it doesn't sustain any more to be built on it. I guess that's why it's falling down. See if I do that again. Oh, it's because I'm walking on it. So it's basically right at the limit of what it can handle. And when I walk on it, it decides that that's too much. They can't handle it. Okay, so let's make sure we remove this one. So now let's see if we spawn in some. Let me do this. Let's spawn in a bunch of zombies. Look at me. Oh, no. Okay, okay, hold on. Okay. Not what I wanted. Right. Let's get some radiated ones. Right. We don't want them up here. We want them down there. Right. Now they should be here. Let's see if I can do this and have a little bit of look. See, they think that standing below here is a really good place. And because there's nothing... Oh, nothing to... Well, actually, they bashed each other. There's nothing to hit except each other. They actually are damaging each other. You see, they're actually hitting each other. You see one got knocked down. Yeah. So, this is the general way I'm thinking of doing it. Basically, you have a big enough area here where they decide that, hey, I'm just going to stand in the middle, and you see if I aggro them a little bit, they actually start to beat and attack each other. So they will eventually try to kill each other as well. Now, isn't this pretty cool? So how does this work during a Blood Moon Horde? That's a really good question. During the Blood Moon Horde, obviously they could be spitting at me. There's going to be cops and everything. So I'm going to change the design a little bit to give myself a small little hut in here that I can stand without being targeted by vomits, and we will see how things go. We are done with our ugly little structure in the middle. Again, this is just to show the concept. I do have potentially one issue with as you remember, this middle plate does not have structure, which means this plate up here does not have structure as well. And that causes a bit of problem, actually, because it means that I potentially when... see if I can trigger it to fault. Yep. If you get a zombie walking here, which you're not going to get, but you're going to get zombies flying there, that might cause a bit of an issue. So let me see if I can... how can I get around that? Let's see if I can increase the structure just a little bit. The problem is that it's in the middle. And middle is always an issue because it doesn't have any structure there. I wonder if I increase this one here, if that will make any difference. See, something fell down. All right, let's see if I put this one here now. It still falls down. So potentially these ones are going to be an issue, and I should have made it one smaller. But I'm not going to rebuild everything just because it happens to be one too big. Hopefully I can show the concept anyway, even though this might come down if there are any vultures there. So let me spawn in some zombies here. Just the regular ones. Look at me, zombie. And then make sure we get some raided and feral. Right, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go this. We're gonna go down. Yep, you see they're all standing here, just as expected. Even if they do run to here because this is the closest way to them. As you notice, they don't start going anywhere else. They do jump on top of each other a little bit. So potentially they could go up a little bit and start bashing this one in case I would have to fill up a little bit here. So they don't. See, this one decides he's gonna... I don't know where he knows. I don't think he even knows where he's going. It's like, I'm out of here. So what happens during a Blood Moon Horde? Well, let's see. Let's see what day it is. Okay, set time. Let's do 28, 2150. And the game kills the horde. And can I do this again? Yeah, I can. Alright, so we're going to see, and let me increase the gamma just a little bit. Okay. And of course, then means I'm out of this view. Okay. Let's see how things go. We have a game stage of drum roll. Okay. Too soon. We have the game stage of drum roll 490. Okay. And of course, as soon as I go into escape and everything, and this one. Oh, I can do this one. Okay. So you see the zombies come here, and they know that I'm right above here somewhere. Can I see myself if I... Oh, you see a vulture? Yep. And they decide they want to bash each other. But it looks like, yeah, it's... the pillars are far enough away that they don't aggro on them. Because potentially they could be beating on some of these metal plates if they are unlucky. It's not likely, but they could. You also see that they have the occasional where they decide that they're going to be hitting the ground, but they also like to beat each other. And let's see if I go up here. Is there any... Nope, I don't see any vulture. But they definitely... Let's see if I get rid of a couple of here and I get some new spawns in. Now I'm running 16 concurrent zombies. And of course I could try with a lot more. This is just to show how things are. If I pump in too many, the performance is going to drop a little bit and it's going to make it a little bit less smooth to record. So for some reason this seems to be a good place. They do seem to be trying to do some mining here. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because they're bashing each other and maybe it knocks them down a little bit. So there is a little bit of damage to the ground. Of course, since none of this ground is actually structural, it doesn't really matter. Wow, he really beat him. The white gave her a big whack. And there is some occasional damage to the floor. At this spot especially, I don't know why it's this spot. The game has decided, what if I shift a little bit and I do this again? Does it mean they are going to be shifting space? No, for some reason this seems to be the spot. I mean, I'm in there and they really don't like this spot. So this is the AI where it has big issues with what it wants to do. It really doesn't know what to do, so it decides that this is a good spot to be not really mining. I mean, there's the occasional one, but it is bashing. And it could be as it's being bashed down. That's what's happening. But yeah, they're definitely killing each other more than I'm killing them. And yeah, this is entirely safe. Now, if this is entirely safe, then can't you do something better so that you can actually fight here? And yes, you can. So this is what we're going to be doing probably during the next week. I am going to take this basic concept. As you can see, it's entirely safe for the player. And of course, I am using a lot of metal and a lot of steel. Now, let's say you think that, hey, you know, I don't want to use all this steel. That's fine. So the items that you need steel is for the block here. This block and the one that is carrying the structural ability, structural integrity, should be steel or metal because it has the highest structural integrity. These ones that is going here don't actually need to be steel. These could be even wood. It just means that a stray attack might break them down, but you could have them as reinforced concrete. This one, however, should be steel because this is where all this structural integrity is being rested on this block. This one, if that was just concrete or reinforced concrete, that would be just fine. So with the steel, you want to basically have the beams across and, of course, the starting points. That would give you enough structural integrity. Oh, and this one, they started to They've broken down one of it. So I guess that shows that you want to have some traps somewhere so that they would actually be, well, you could kill them so they don't stand there. But you could save your steel by simply making the cross beams steel, and the pillars just make them reinforced concrete, because that saves you quite a lot. But let me just go back here. And if I can go back like this. Can I? Yep. So you could imagine where, and let me get my UI here. You do this. Okay, this one fell down as well. That's fine. Having these ones as, well, probably having them as iron bars, so you actually don't fall down by accident. And that could actually allow you to just stand here and just shoot them, because there are some spots there where they would be congregating. I'm not sure where they would congregate in the same spot always. I'm going to have to test that out, because if they are always in this spot, it means that you could be using that one to your advantage by, and it seems like it though. If I'm here, it still likes to go over there, which means that for this build, having some traps that would take care of this spot would probably do it. You could have some dart traps, for instance. And okay, this is the stupid cop. Dart traps, you could have something else, electric fences around this area, and I will be doing that as well. And now that they broke one of the blocks, it does help me to know exactly where they are, because this seems to be the area that I need to defend. But anyway, as you can see, this basic concept works really, really well. There's no major issues with it. And do this one, and of course the occasional cop that decides, but the rest of them are just going to be... Okay, so now I'm having... Alright, so this is the issue you're having with... Go away. Q. Okay, no, don't. Okay, God mode. And these again. So this is where you want to make sure that you are covering the top with something, so you don't have the vultures trying to get in. And I think this happened just because I started breaking things around. If I just keep that one, I think they can't see a path to me. It doesn't matter if it's just wood, because they won't attack it. I'm sure that's going to change in one of the updates, but yeah, looks really safe. Beyond some damage on the ground, there shouldn't be any damage anywhere, and I'm not even fighting them. So you might call this the Worcester Horde, which to some degree it is. Now they went for this one. Interesting. It seems to be. I wonder if there's some pattern. But I hope you enjoyed it, and as you can see, works well. And you could build this one, probably not by day 7, but at some point, and we will go into further ways to improving this one with traps and everything. It's interesting that they're not standing below me, that they're standing over here instead, and I don't really know why. If you know why they're congregating over here instead of over there, let me know. I would be really interested to know. But I'll catch you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.